6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumaira Kamal. The headlines first. Prime Minister has announced Tamgha-e-Imtiaz for martyred doctors and health workers who sacrificed their lives during corona pandemic. Second round of consultations between Prime Minister and opposition leader to select caretaker Prime Minister is being held in Islamabad today. President and Prime Minister in their messages on National Minorities Day today have assured to provide unwavering support for protection of rights of minorities. New York Times says India ranks among 10 countries having the highest risk of mass killings of minorities. In Syria, 26 soldiers have been killed in a militant attack in Deir ez-Zor province. In Asia Champions Trophy hockey tournament at Chennai today, Pakistan secured 5th position, beating China by 6-1.
रेडियो पाकिस्तान की ऑफिशियल मोबाइल ऐप, जहां आपको मिलेगी रेडियो पाकिस्तान के तमाम मीडियम वेव्स और एफएम चैनल्स की लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग, ताजा तरीन खबरें, रेडियो पाकिस्तान की दिलचस्प पॉडकास्ट सर्विस और बहुत कुछ। तो अभी विजिट करें radio.gov.pk/apps और अपने मोबाइल फोन्स पर रेडियो पाकिस्तान की ऑफिशियल मोबाइल ऐप डाउनलोड करें। रेडियो पाकिस्तान, कौम की आवाज।
And now the news in details. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has announced to award Tamgha-e-Imtiaz posthumously to the martyred doctors and health workers who took care of patients without caring for their own lives during corona pandemic. In a statement today, the Prime Minister paid glowing tributes to the doctor and frontline workers for their services during COVID-19. He said these sons and daughters of the country died from the deadly pandemic while fulfilling their responsibilities. He said the whole nation will remain indebted to these dutiful doctors and frontline health workers. He further stated that the families of these doctors and frontline health workers are the pride of the nation. Tamgha-e-Imtiaz posthumously will be conferred upon 81 doctors from Punjab, 87 from Sindh, 23 from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 8 from Balochistan, 4 from Azad Jammu and Kashmir, and 1 doctor from Gilgit and Islamabad, each for their hard work and dedication to save people's lives during the corona pandemic. 59 nurses and frontline health workers from across Pakistan will also be honoured with Tamgha-e-Imtiaz posthumously for saving lives of the people without caring about their own lives during the corona pandemic. The second round of the consultations between Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and opposition leader Raja Riaz Ahmed to select caretaker Prime Minister will be held in Islamabad today. According to a press release of Prime Minister Office, the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif had invited the leader of the opposition for consultation as per provisions of the Constitution. The first meeting for this purpose was held in a cordial manner and they decided to continue consultation. The National Minorities Day was observed today with the aim to highlight their religious and socio-economic rights. The declaration to mark National Minorities Day was adopted as part of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to help and secure those belonging to religious, linguistic, national or ethnic minority groups. The purpose of observing the day is to highlight the message of Father of the Nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who had pronounced equal rights to all citizens of Pakistan. President Dr. Arif Alvi has said minorities in the country enjoy all political, economic and social rights guaranteed by the Constitution of Pakistan. In a message on the occasion of Minorities Day today, the President recalled the Constitution guarantees the political, economic and social rights of all citizens regardless of their religious beliefs or ethnicity. The President said Pakistan has consistently made efforts for the welfare and upkeep of minorities, including the reservation of 5% quota in government jobs and separate seats of minorities in both houses of parliament to encourage their active participation in the political and economic development of the country. The President called upon religious scholars and the media to educate the society about the rights of minorities and promote a culture of love, tolerance, brotherhood and unity in the country. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has assured to provide consistent and unwavering support to for the protection of home rights of minorities. In a message on the occasion, the Prime Minister termed minority communities as the part and parcel of the Pakistani nationalism, as they contributed meaningfully to the building country from defense to education to health to social service. Drawing attention to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah's historic speech at the floor of the Legislative Assembly, he said the very idea of Pakistan is incomplete without non-Muslim citizens. Mentioning the services of country's first law minister Jogendra Nath Mandal, Dr. Maria Pelbas, Dr. Ruth and Justice Dura Patel, the Prime Minister said the list of Pakistani non-Muslim personalities of eminence is long, whose contributions to public service continue to be celebrated. In India, under Modi's dogmatic rule, the targeting of minorities, particularly Muslims, by Hindu extremists became normal as India degenerates into a conflict zone of sectarian violence. According to an article published in the New York Times by an Indian journalist, Debashis Roy Chaudhary, vigilante mobs regularly attack mosques and the police fail to intervene. He wrote that lynching and open calls for genocide are common. India now ranks among the 10 countries at the highest risk of mass killings of minorities. Referring to the explosive situation in Manipur, Chaudhary said the fuse for the current unrest was lit by the politics of Modi-sponsored Hindu supremacy. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Masood Khan, has said Pakistan is committed to promote interfaith and intersectarian harmony. Addressing a gathering of faith leaders of the United States at the Pakistan House in Washington, D.C., he said Sufism has a great history in Pakistan and it has always worked to connect communities and integrate them as one humanity. He said Pakistan and United States can work together to deepen understanding about these issues and promote understanding among civilizations. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian forces have launched a massive crackdown across occupied territory in the name of ensuring security on India's Independence Day, the 15th August. The Indian forces personnel are conducting house raids and cordon and search operations, subjecting the people to severe harassment. The troops and police have arrested dozens of youth during these operations and summoned hundreds of others to police stations and army camps. All party Hurriyat conference leaders and other pro-freedom organizations have paid glowing tributes to prominent martyred Hurriyat leader Sheikh Abdul Aziz on his 15th martyrdom anniversary today. Indian troops had martyred Sheikh Abdul Aziz on this day in 2008 when he was leading a big march from Srinagar to the line of control against the economic blockade of the Kashmir Valley by Hindu extremists of Jammu. In Syria, at least 26 soldiers have been killed and 10 others injured in a militant attack on a military bus in Deir Azor province. A militant group known as Islamic State of Iraq and Levant has claimed the responsibility for the attack. In the occupied West Bank, a Palestinian has been martyred and 8 others injured during an Israeli military raid of Tulkarm refugee camp. According to official Palestinian news agency, Israeli soldiers reportedly fired live ammunition and tear gas on the rooftops of the camp's residents. In the United States, the death toll has risen to 55 in the devastating wildfires, which forced thousands to flee their home in the state of Hawaii. In a statement, Hawaii Governor Josh Green termed the wildfires the largest natural disaster in the state history, saying 80% of tourist town of Lahaina has been reduced to ashes. In Asian Champions Trophy hockey tournament at Chennai today, Pakistan secured 5th position, defeating China by 6-1. The final of the event will be played tomorrow. And finally, the weather. Hot and humid weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain and wind thunder shower is expected in northeast, South Punjab, Pothohar region, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Islamabad and Kashmir. To end the news, here are some of the headlines once again. Prime Minister has announced Tamgha Imtiyaz for martyred doctors and health workers who sacrificed their lives during Corona pandemic. second round of consultations between Prime Minister and opposition leader to select caretaker Prime Minister is being held in Islamabad today. President and Prime Minister in their messages on National Minorities Day today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.